Did he have a bad day at work? Did something happen to his family? Did he meet another girl? Maybe he's just caught up in some project, or maybe he's just busy. Regardless of the reason for his silence, you may start feeling insecure about your relationship and begin to wonder if you should text him first to check on him. After all, it's been almost 24 hours since you last heard from him. Every woman goes through this from time to time. You meet a guy, things seem to go well, and then complete radio silence for days on end. At least that's how it feels when you're the one sitting at home wondering why he isn't responding to any of your texts. If this sounds like something that has happened to you recently, read on. We have 16 reasons why you haven't heard from him all day.
1. He thinks your relationship is moving too fast. Let me ask you this. For how long have you been dating him? If you've only been dating for a short period of time and you're already texting him all day, then there's a good chance that he's getting tired of the constant communication. Maybe he doesn't want to rush things and he thinks you're moving too fast. Or, maybe you scared him off with texts saying I love you, or I can't wait to move in together, and so on. Guys are a bit more cautious than women when it comes to falling in love, and if you've jumped in with both feet he may feel pressured to do the same even if he isn't ready.
2. He has a reason for avoiding you. Be honest, your last date didn't go very well or something else has happened. Maybe he was a little drunk and said something inappropriate, or he got caught up with his friends and left you hanging, or even just forgot about your date. Regardless of the reason for his bad behavior, he doesn't want to get in trouble by telling you what happened. Instead of coming clean, he's giving you the cold shoulder to maintain some distance while you both cool off. He may even be planning on reaching out to apologize, but he needs a little time to get his thoughts together so that he can do it properly.
3. He's getting his game together before he commits to you. Sometimes guys just take a little bit longer to feel comfortable enough with a woman to commit to her. If you've been seeing each other for a while but he hasn't brought up the topic of exclusivity, he may be trying to get his life in order before he commits to you fully. This could also be the reason why you haven't heard from him all day. He may be trying to figure out exactly what it is he wants in a relationship and where he wants to go with it before he makes a life-changing decision. Who knows, maybe he's planning to surprise you with a dinner date, or something special. So, don't be too quick to jump to conclusions. Give him some time, he may just be trying to figure things out.
4. A relationship coach can give you real clarity. While this article will shed light on the main reasons you haven't heard from him all day, it can be helpful to speak to a relationship coach about your situation. With a professional relationship coach, you can get advice tailored to your unique situation. Relationship Hero is a popular site where highly trained relationship coaches help people work through complex relationship issues, like a sudden change in communication. Their popularity boils down to how skilled their coaches are. Why am I so confident that they can help you? Well, after recently experiencing a tough patch in my own relationship, I reached out to them for help. From the moment I got in touch, I was given genuine, helpful advice, and was finally able to see my relationship issues with real clarity. I was blown away by how kind and empathetic my coach was. Within minutes, you could be receiving life-changing advice on how to navigate and repair the issues you're facing in your relationship.
5. He's busy with work. Sometimes guys get so caught up in their work that they lose track of time. Maybe he's been working on a big project, or he's been traveling for work and has only just gotten back home with a million things he needs to get done. Whatever the reason, he probably just needs a couple of days to catch up and then he'll get in touch. Should you text him? In this situation, it's best to give him some time to get things done without worrying about you. Wait a couple of days before you reach out. The best thing you can do is let him reach out to you first. Don't wait too long, though, because other reasons may apply.
6. Something has happened and he needs time to process it. If something major happens in a guy's life, he may just need a little time to process it. Maybe he got laid off from his job, or maybe his parents told him they had separated. Whatever it is, it's going to negatively impact his life and he's going to need some time to figure out how to move forward. During a time like this, it's best to give him space. But if you are not aware of something like this that is going on in his life, say something. Ask him what's wrong and offer your support. Be there for him through the tough times.
7. Something has happened with his family or friends and he needs time to deal with it. Family issues can be tough and they have a way of coming up at the most inconvenient times, like when you meet someone special and things are going well. Maybe his dad lost his job and his family is going through a financial crisis. Or maybe his brother is in jail and he needs to drive hours away to visit him. Whatever the reason, he needs time to deal with it and sort things out in his head before he gets back in touch with you. Don't feel bad for abandoning him. Sometimes life happens and we need a little extra time to get things straight. However, if you're clueless about the situation, then go ahead and text him.
8. He just doesn't feel like you need him. Another possible reason for his silence is that he just doesn't feel like you need him. Maybe you haven't been as available to talk to him as he would have liked, or maybe you made it seem like you didn't care about him by not responding right away to his texts. Whatever the reason, it may have been unintentional on your part. But how do you fix this? There's a new theory in the relationship world that's causing quite a stir. It's called the hero instinct. Coined by relationship expert James Bauer, this fascinating concept finally explains how men really think and feel in relationships. And it's something most women have never even heard of. According to James Bauer, men don't actually need a lot to feel content in their relationships. In fact, what they need has nothing to do with sex. Men have certain innate drivers. And when a woman comes along and triggers them, it causes a powerful response. The result is a man who loves harder, commits wholeheartedly, and truly dedicates himself to the relationship. So, how can you trigger your man's hero instinct? The truth is, once you understand how the hero instinct works, there's no telling what heights your relationship can reach. After trying this, you won't have to worry about him not reaching out to you daily.
9. He is dealing with an emergency. Are you still wondering why you haven't heard from him all day? It could be because he is dealing with an emergency. He could have gotten in a serious accident, or maybe his house burned down. No matter what has happened, he needs time to deal with the situation and take care of business. Hopefully, he'll reach out to you and let you know that something is going on. Don't feel like you have to text him, though. Respect his privacy and let him do what he needs to do. He will get in touch with you when he feels it is appropriate.
10. He wants to be friends but doesn't want to hurt your feelings by saying so. Here's another reason why you haven't heard from him all day. He wants to be friends with you, but doesn't want to hurt your feelings by saying so. Guys are terrible at communicating their feelings and sometimes they just avoid the issue altogether. He may want to say, "I don't think we should date anymore," but instead he says nothing. The best way to deal with this situation is to ask him what's going on. Explain how you feel and don't be afraid of the truth, even if it hurts. If you think about it, it's better to know where things really stand with the two of you than to stay in limbo and wonder.
11. He's just not that into you. If a guy has gone radio silent on you, it's probably because he just doesn't feel the same way about you as you do about him. Perhaps he just wasn't ever that into you, to begin with, and wanted to let you down easy, or maybe he's just not ready to commit to anyone right now. But why this sudden change? Why haven't you heard from him all day today? Well, maybe he's just finally realizing that he doesn't want to date you. Whether it took a few weeks or a few months, he was finally able to admit that he just didn't feel the spark. Or maybe something in his life has changed and he's decided that you aren't right for him after all.
12. He simply needs some space for himself. Have you considered the fact that he might need some space and that's why he hasn't reached out to you? Maybe he's having a small crisis with his job, or he's feeling overwhelmed by all of the crazy things happening in his life and just needs a little space. Whatever the reason, he'll be in touch when he's ready. Should you text him? If this is the case, then probably not. Give him some space to sort through his feelings, and do whatever he wants to do to unwind, relax, recharge his batteries, whatever. But don't feel bad if you haven't heard from him for a few days because it may just be the way he prefers to communicate. However, you could try something else. I mentioned this fascinating concept earlier, the hero instinct. When a man's inner hero is triggered, he's more likely to reach out to you every day and easily communicate with you. Just by knowing the right things to say to him, you'll open a part of him that no woman has ever reached before. He won't even need space from you.
13. You did something he didn't like. But he doesn't know how to bring it up with you. Maybe you once forgot to call him when you said you would, or maybe you did something he doesn't like and he doesn't know how to bring it up with you. He may just feel awkward bringing it up with you and be hoping that he can just wait for you to apologize so he can forgive you. So, think about what you could have done to upset him and apologize. You can let him know that you would have liked to call that evening, but you were running late. You truly forgot, and it won't happen again. Or, depending on what you did, you can adjust your apology. If you can't think of anything, then just ask him if you did something that bothered him. You should be able to tell by the way he is reacting to you.
14. You caught him lying to you and now he feels terrible. You haven't heard from him all day? It could be because he's feeling guilty for lying to you. Even if you talked about this, he may still be feeling the sting of the situation. Maybe he lied to you about where he was going, or maybe he told you something about himself that wasn't true. Whatever it was, you got over it, but it seems he hasn't been able to move past it, and he probably doesn't feel comfortable telling you about it. Simply put, you haven't heard from him all day because he's ashamed and doesn't know what to say.
15. He met someone else and doesn't know how to tell you. It's possible that you haven't heard from him all day, because he met someone else and is trying to figure out how to tell you. Maybe it was a girl he met online, or maybe it was someone he met at a party, but either way, the reason you haven't heard from him is that he's not sure how to tell you about it. He might be freaking out about what you will think, how you will react, or how you will feel when you find out. The only thing he can do is take his time and figure out how to tell you. Should you text him? At this point, you've got nothing to lose by texting him. Just say, "Hey, I haven't heard from you all day, but I just wanted to check in and see how things are going. Is everything okay?"
16. He is planning a special surprise for you. Look, guys also go silent when they do good things, not just bad ones. Maybe he has planned a surprise for you and is keeping quiet to make sure everything goes according to plan. The reason you haven't heard from him is that he doesn't want you to ruin anything or ask too many questions. If this is the case, then the best thing to do is wait for him. And try not to think about what he might be doing. But how do you know if this is the case? Ask yourself whether there is some sort of occasion that you might have missed. Like what? Like your 2 months or 6 months anniversary. He's most likely planning something special for you. And the reason you haven't heard from him is that he doesn't want to ruin your surprise.
Subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching this video.